Hey everyone, welcome back to Girl Talk. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, before we get started, if you could give me a like, share, thumbs up, comment, hit that subscribe and notification buttons, I would appreciate it. So, my apologies. I wanted to get the Lindsay Clancy trial from yesterday, the recap up, and it wasn't uploaded yet. So, I had to wait until this morning. So, that is why it wasn't put on last night. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a good morning so far. And we will get right into this. And this was day 14. Before the jury came out, some motions were addressed. The motion for required finding under Rule 25 was denied. There was a discussion regarding McLean Hospital records and scheduling for expert witness Emily Thorndike. Jurors excused for multiple breaks. And we will get into the witnesses. I do want to say that the prosecution did rest, and it's now the defense's turn. So this is the one that I was waiting for. I definitely want to hear this, and I want to hear their side. So I think it's going to get interesting now. And after I go through the recap, there is one, it's actually on Reddit. There is a really good post or comment that somebody put up, and I'll read that to you then, but it was pretty good. So the first witness is Eon Whiffen. He was called by the prosecution. So the direct examination, and this is from the Commonwealth, works at Celebrite, which is a digital intelligence company. He is a customer engagement manager. His background: IT, Calgary Police Service Digital Forensics Examiner, Canadian Police College training, and mobile data courses. Celebrite tools extract and decode phone and computer data. He was asked to locate Apple Health data relevant to 47 Summer Street incident. Apple Health logs sensor data from iPhone, Apple Watch. Has extracted and analyzed 1,000 plus phones. He's testified 28 times. Received full file system extraction of Lindsay Clancy's phone. Uses Celebrite Physical Examiner and his own tools. Focused on early January to January 24th timeframe. Heart rate data from Apple Watch paired to phone. Last heart rate at 17:23:52 was 57 beats per minute. Average heart rate, high 80s to 90s. Reasons the heart rate drops: watch removed, turned off, or the battery's dead. Flight climb data. Altitude plus steps, both watch and phone can record. Rare false positives are possible. Detailed table showing watch versus phone flight climb timestamp. The last flight climbs 17:03 and 17:33. Web usage 1,300 plus records, searches from January 10th to the 24th. Searches include, quote unquote, how quickly does Wellbutrin work for depression? Lamical? It's a medication for depression. Elavil for depression. Ketamine for suicide ideation. Symptoms of postpartum psychosis. An Apple Note was created 12/22 of 22, modified 1/23/23, cannot determine exact modifications. Messages compiled for Lindsay, mother and Lindsay, and then Patrick. Phone call logs compiled. Last incoming call from Patrick at 17:33 was unanswered. And the cross-examination, this was from the defense. Confirmed searches on January 12th include Wellbutrin, Lamictal, Elavil, ketamine, Apple Note, content discussed, modifications unclear, message threads reviewed, snowman photos, messages to quote-unquote mommy, messages to Patrick. January 24th messages when Patrick replies, cutie. Lindsay reacts with a heart emoji. Lindsay says her urine looks good, nothing going wrong with her kidneys. Phew. Patrick says good. Patrick says you're a good mama. Lindsay responds with heart emoji. The defense introduces full web history. The defense introduces Patrick's computer reports. The defense challenges January 25th activity showing steps distance while Lindsay was in a coma. Whiffen says data likely from phone, not watch. Apple Watch shown to witness. He has never seen it before. So the redirect, which was by the Commonwealth, the data, or January 25th data could be from phone or watch, printout insufficient to determine source. Watch syncs to phone, data always pulls from phone. If watch is off, the phone records steps and flights. No flights climb between 1738 and 1809. Full extraction admitted. And then there was recross from the defense. Whiffen cannot say why phone recorded no steps after 1738. Did not report on steps or distance. And then the exhibits referenced were 268, 269, 272A, 273, 274, 275, 276, and full extraction discs. Witness 2 was Margaret Hamp. They were called by defense. So the defense started their direct examination. Name is Margaret Hamp. Labor and delivery nurse at Mass General. Worked with Lindsay since 2015. Observed Lindsay as compassionate, emotional during births. Parents living in hotel since January 2023 to visit Lindsay daily. The cross-examination by the Commonwealth asked whether Lindsay asked to leave McLean early for Cora's birthday. Witness cannot recall. Police interview January 25th. The witness said Lindsay seemed okay 2 weeks prior. Witness said Lindsay's tone was better. Clarifies she meant text tone. Text on January 19th. Lindsay, quote-unquote, seemed okay. The witness is a mandate reporter. Did not file any report. Witness number 3 was Paula Musgrove, and she was called by the defense. So the direct examination, this is Lindsay's mother. Describes Lindsay as an excellent student, never in trouble. She was close with Lindsay, Pat, and her grandchildren. Lindsay was a loving, dedicated mother. The summer of 2022, they were a happy family. October 2022, Lindsay anxious about returning to work, insomnia, and anxiety. Text on October 20th, quote unquote, Mom, will you please come up? I'm really sick. Something is wrong. She stayed with Lindsay about a week. November to December, worsening condition, insomnia, fear, slept with mother. Christmas, they visited Connecticut. January, weight loss, paranoia, fear of driving, fear school staff knew her thoughts. Lindsay said medication was quote unquote destroying her mind. December incident. Lindsay told parents she quote unquote had thoughts of harming the children. The cross examination was from the Commonwealth. December disclosure, early mid December. Pat asked Lindsay if she felt she couldn't be alone with kids. She said no. Witness did not consider commitment or removing Lindsay from home. Witness not concerned for children's safety because she was present. October 19th text. Lindsay asked mother to stay to help with childcare. October 24th text. Lindsay says good. November to December. Slept with Lindsay. Witness did not consider commitment. January text. Now, again, this is from her mom, to and from her mom. January 4th. Lindsay says she may come home from McLean. January 7th. She said she made it home okay. January 8th. She said good that they were going to the Science Museum. January 10th. She said that she was good and that she was at the gym with the kids. January 11th. She said doing all right, taking it day by day. January 13th. Pretty good today. January 14th. Lindsay said she felt a little better. Still don't feel like me. January 15th, they were going to an indoor water park. And January 16th, she said it was fun and they had a good time. So the exhibits that were referenced were 276W and 238. These are the exhibits. 268 was Lindsay Clancy's iPhone web history. That was admitted. 269, Patrick Clancy Computer Digital Report was admitted. 272A was Tewksbury Hospital records. They were admitted. 273, Mass General Institute of Health Professions transcript admitted. 274, Quinnipiac transcript admitted. Exhibit 275, Mass General Hospital Employment Records admitted. 276, the text thread, they were admitted. Full extraction disk, Lindsay Clancy's iPhone full file system extraction admitted. And W, which was ID, October 20th text message marked for identification. This one, this happened out of the jury presence. There was a brief attorney conference before jury enters. The jury was excused. Court addressed motions for required findings. Rule 25 motion argued and denied. Discussion of McLean records and scheduling. And then they had their afternoon recess, and then a brief sidebar before the jury returns. The end of day administration. The Commonwealth rests. Defense begins case with witnesses Hamp and Musgrove. Court anticipates expert witness pending arrival of McLean records. Jury instructed to return at 2 p.m. after recess, and then the court adjourns after Musgrove cross-examination. That was approximately at 5:39 p.m., so it was a little bit later than usual. So here is the um, comment that I wanted to read to you that I thought it was pretty good. It says, everyone needs to take a collective breath because today is literally day one of the defense's case in chief. And this standard playbook maneuvering shouldn't surprise anyone. Right now they are doing basic foundational work, specifically introducing evidence of Lindsay's character and background under the legal equivalent of Rule 404A. 1. To establish a peaceful or law-abiding trait through close proximity. Too much reading today, guys. Community witnesses. It is standard legal theater, and for anyone panicking about Red, remember his track record. As we have seen throughout his entire trial, he does not ask a question or enter an exhibit without a strategic calculation. When they said Red, they meant her attorney. He is playing a long game chess match, likely setting up a perjury trap or building up a contradiction that he will weaponize during cross-examination. So giving up on him during the first hour of his presentation is a massive overreaction. As for the prosecution, trying to remain unbiased is becoming a full-time job because watching them present is like pulling out individual hairs. There is a grand canyon of difference between proving the elements of a crime beyond a reasonable doubt and putting a courtroom to sleep with clinical textbook monotony. They are handling this like one else. I don't know what that means. Participating in mandatory law school mock trial where they get points for reading every single line of a stipulation, but 0 points for human connection. By entirely ignoring the art of the trial advocacy and focusing exclusively on dry, robotic, granular facts, they are completely losing the jury, the gallery, and everyone watching the live stream. If they don't pivot soon and inject some narrative persuasion into their case, they are going to find out the hard way that a technically perfect record means absolutely nothing if the jury tunes you out completely. And then somebody had commented underneath that and it said, I am a litigator and I agree with everything you just said. So, that's kind of where we left off. So we will see what happens later today. And like I said, the defense is up, so it should get really good now. I thought the prosecution sucked. We'll see what the defense does. So, all right, guys, that was the quick rundown, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope everybody has a good day, and we will talk soon with today's update and recap when it becomes available. All right, have a great day, guys. Bye.